here to talk about safety. Where to start? Safety. It's summertime, so I know a lot of us are going to get out there and walk, right? Do you guys walk? You walk on, we have paths,
Yes.
greenways. I know a lot of people who walk on those greenways. They put their earbuds in and they just go to work. They just walk in and go to work. That's fine. That's what you're out there to do. But we've had a couple incidents out on the greenway where some females have been snatched up and attempted to be sexually assaulted. Every one of those incidents, the female won. They fought back and they fought back very bravely and they won. But with that said, if you're walking on the greenway, I recommend maybe put one earbud in. If you do have both of them in, just make sure you're aware of your surroundings. A lot of people, like I said, they get out there and they get to work. And they just walk in, but a lot of people don't realize that you just probably walk past the person that's probably going to assault you. It's somebody that's sitting in the woods or standing. Just make sure that you're always looking around and knowing your surroundings. That's going to be the theme of the day, is knowing your surroundings. If you have a dog, walk with your dogs. That was one of the ways that one of the females were able to fight back the little dog. A lot of people think I have a German Shepherd, so that makes me feel a little bit comfortable. But she had like a little dog, a little anger biter, and that's exactly what the dog did. She was in trouble. She little dog got on his dog. Which was enough to distract him. To allow her to do it. So now now he has two things he has to think about. One of the things that we do in the police department is we talk about putting somebody else in the reactionary position. So it's easy because they already know what they want to do. He wanted to assault this young lady, and he had a plan. Well, he wasn't expecting her to fight back. He wasn't expecting her dog to start biting. So now he had to think, how is he going to get out of this situation? And she put him into reacting, how to defend himself. That's one of the things that you want to do is to take them out of their game plan and put them and pretty much take control of it. And so, some of the things that we do is everybody, those little key rings. I don't know if I want to pull it, it's going to be kind of loud for the library. So they're not coming here, but this is real good. I mean, remember when you were young and somebody was attacking you, what they told you, like yell fire or just make a lot of noise. So that right there, they're not expecting that. So now you have to put them in problem solving skills. Pepper spray. One thing about pepper spray is you have to realize that it's good. Pepper spray is fine, but just realize that she also might get pepper sprayed. So that's something you're going to have to work through. Now those are probably streams and not the bursts, but it happened. So you just be prepared for that as well. So that's something you have to fight through as well. So you have one to as well. So
So my question is, do you think that would be best to carry instead of the pepper? So I'm showing statue, so if I'm fighting and I spray, that's probably going to come back on me.
So let me tell you, so some of the things, some of the things that we have around our waist, the reason why we have so much stuff is some people react to them different ways. So, there's like, if you pepper spray somebody, you just might take them off. And you're like, that didn't work. Okay, I'm going to go to like my baton. That didn't work, so now I'm going to have to go to my taser, and so pepper spray is good. Just understand it may not work, but it also might work. I mean, everything that I'm saying is a plan. Nothing is guaranteed. This is good because as soon as, and everybody will hear this, and you're in the parking lot and you hear a kid crying, what's the first thing you do? You go and look like what's going on over there.
What's going on?
So, something like this where it's making a loud noise, people are going to look. And the person who's trying to cause you harm also knows that that's their game plan, they don't want to be seen. So when you pull this out, or you're screaming and you're hollering, and now they think they're gonna be seen, now they have their problem-solving skills, you put them in problem-solving mode, and now they have to figure out how to get out of this situation. So and that's the main game plan, is to put them in problem-solving mode. So this is, nothing wrong with pepper spray. You can, like I said, you know, you could use it, just be mindful that it may not work. It might get into your eyes. You know, you pull this thing and, you know, it's making this huge loud noise, but nobody may not be around you for 2 miles, so now this doesn't work.
So when you pull that, does it extend the sound? Because then you push the button first?
No, it's just a rip thing, so it looks like this is probably it's a flashlight.
Oh.
It looks like it has a light on here. So once you pull this pin, it'll keep making that sound until you put it back in.
Okay, so if you throw it, it's gonna still make a sound?
Yep. So, I mean, those are good, I like those. You know, another thing that if you walk in and somebody, you know, if somebody comes up to you and they want to rob you, or they, you know, give me your wallet, you know, here's another thing that people do, what we say to do is, you know, if you can hand it to them, that's fine, you know, that's what they want. You could throw it on the ground, because now they have to bend down and get it, and it gives you enough time to go away. But everything I'm saying is one of the things that we do in the academy is we do things over and over and over and over again. And the reason why we do it over and over and over again is because when you get into a situation, and we tell people this, so if you're gonna use this, you know, maybe practice pulling it a couple times. You know, if you're gonna use pepper spray, you could go out to a bush and, like, you know, kind of just know how it feels to push that button. You know, that's so when we go out, like sometimes we'll go out and, you know, shoot our pepper spray, or we'll test our taser out, but we do that because when you get into these situations, your mind, your tunnel vision gets really small. And I've been in situations, and, you know, where I'm like, you know, I'll do this, and this was gonna happen, this was gonna happen, and then you get there, and you're like, I didn't do any of that. One of my favorite things is Mike Tyson has a saying. It says, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. So until you get punched in the face, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna, you know, karate chop them here. No, if you had never karate chopped anybody, you are not gonna karate chop anybody. It comes down to it. I promise you. One of the stories that I had about tunnel vision, that I hadn't lived through in this job, was we had a pond. It was wintertime, and kids fell into the pond. They broke their eyes. Well, adults went out there and they got them, but the adults then fell into the ice. And so we all got there, and it was, you know, me and another officer, and everybody else was out there watching. And the guy threw a rope down, and it wasn't long enough to reach them. And so we're trying to throw it out there and throw it out there and throw it out there, and we couldn't reach. And I actually started to take off my gear. My partner was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You know, you're going to fall into the ice too and become part of the problem." But the thing is, and then of course, and then in hindsight, I'm like, you know, why didn't we go to the pool and get the life preserver and throw it out there? Why didn't, you know, you take off a shoe? And what basically we had to do was anchor down the rope, because it was too light to get out there. But in that time, mindset, we weren't. I've never trained to get people out of water. Fire came, it was like 2 seconds. And, you know, that's one of the things that kind of haunted me is, you know, they would have died. And in fact, I couldn't figure out to take a shoe off and to weight it down. And so that's why I tell people now, you know, having to go through that experience is practice with practice. If you have a plan, if you say, this is what I'm going to do, run through it a couple times. You know, if you're walking and you're sitting there, just walk, pull the pin. You know, walk, pull the pin, grab it out of your pocket, pull the pin, repeatedly take it wherever you're going to do. Take it out of your pocket, pull the pin. Just practice it. So that's what we do. We do a lot of safety meetings as community coordinators, and that's one of the things that I preach because I've been through it. I've been through that tunnel vision. Another thing is when you go out to shopping centers, same thing applies. You know, we get a lot of robberies where people are just walking out to their cars, and because there's a lot of people out there, and so somebody walking by, and it takes real quick, you know, for somebody just to pull a gun out and say, you know, give me your wallet, your purse, and then they run out. It takes maybe about 2 seconds. Make sure, you know, it's always, you know, I say, hey, how you doing? You know, it's a difference. So if for example, like this, is if you're coming, you're like, you're trying to avoid them. Well, now they know that, you know, they kind of got you. It's a mind game. But now if you do this and you're walking, you're like, hey, how you doing? You know, now they know it's a different presence that you just gave them. It's more of an empowerment presence that you gave them versus a timid. Don't be ashamed. I always tell people, I don't care about her. If I hurt your feelings and you're a good person, I'm sorry. I don't know you, and it's just me and you, right? And you might be a good person, but I don't know who you are. I'm sorry about your feelings, but I'm going to go ahead and go home safe. In Charlotte, and I'm assuming it's everywhere, we have a huge problem with car break-ins. A lot of times it happens at the house, a lot of times it happens at the stores. When you're going shopping and you have your bags, you know, you want to make sure that you remove all your items from the car. I mean, out of sight. When I say, so if they're walking by and they see a bag, they don't know if it's a diaper bag. They don't know if it's a bag full of dirty clothes. They just see a bag and they want it. So they're going to break the window if it's not unlocked. If it's unlocked, they're just going to go in and get it. So remove your items and lock your doors. And it sounds so easy and so simple that you would think that who's not doing this? And I'll tell you, a whole bunch of people not doing it. Our number one crime breaking or crime down here is larcenies from vehicles. People just leaving items in the cars and not locking their doors. So if you don't want to fix a broken window, or you like your iPhone or your bag, remove it, put it in the trunk, put it, you know, especially like we talk about going to the park. You go to the park or walking, and you don't give your purse, put it in the trunk. You know, there's a lot of people who put it on the floorboard, and we don't live in that world anymore where you can just leave and your door unlocked and nobody's going to bother it. You know, I always tell people, if you feel comfortable with leaving a bag of gold in your driveway, well then go ahead and leave your car unlocked because it's going to get taken. So just think about it that way. It's going to get taken. You know, I've never been a victim of a car break-in, you know, knock on wood, but I make sure I do things to not become a victim.